My name is Percy Jackson.
A couple months ago, there was a creator on TikTok who's really big, and he made a video talking about how much he loves Percy Jackson. And he's like kind of like a stand-up comedian kind of creator. And he was talking about how when he grew up, he was homeless and living in shelters and stuff. And he would read the Percy Jackson books, and they would give him hope that his life would one day get better. And it was fun for him to believe that he was like a Poseidon child, that Poseidon was looking out for him one day. He, like the official Percy account, replied to one of his videos, and he made a video crying because it literally, he says in the video, like, Percy Jackson literally like saved my life when I was growing up. And because he talked about that, I saw some comments on that video, and I made a video up talking about that, and I got some myself of people that were former kids that grew up, part of growing up, they were at homeless shelters, and they said that all of the kids at homeless shelters, there's also a person that said they went to like a psych hospital when they were a kid, that they were all reading Percy Jackson books, particularly at homeless shelters, because all of the kids, when you really think about it, are homeless when they're on quests. They don't have anywhere to stay. They're always living, they're like sleeping outside, eating food out of dumpsters, making deals with gods because they'll give them food, finding, like, sneaking onto like trains and things like that, trying to like hitch rides. They're doing all the things that you do when you don't have any money. Like the entire plot, we were talking about this beforehand, the entire plot of The Lightning Thief is basically like the kindly ones show up when they're on like the bus when they're first leaving. They explode the bus, which then explodes all of the money and the food that they had from that they just bought from camp.
Even.
Yeah, like all of their supplies. And so then like the whole rest of the season, they have to figure out how to get anywhere without any of that. And so they're doing all the things that they're doing that season, just literally just to get somewhere because they don't have any money and they don't have any way to get anywhere. And even in Sea of Monsters, the same sort of thing happens where most of their supplies goes away when the Ironside blows up, and Percy and Annabeth have one Dr. Pepper can that they're sharing when they're trying to get to Cersei's island, and they have no other food but that. There's something like that happens in every book, and it's one of those things, like, I grew up like poor. Like my parents never really had a lot of money. And especially after they got divorced, they really didn't have any money. And so it's one of those things that when I read these books, I just see that in those characters. And that's part of why I like this book series, is because it shows like all the inventive things you do when you don't have money to like get by. But it didn't occur to me until I saw people talking about it of like, oh, right. Like if people aren't used to that, or they aren't like that poor themselves, they've never had to think about that before. But yeah, like Thalia would be dressed like that because she doesn't have a place to live. And so like leather jackets and plaid jackets are things that help keep you warm. And that is like a big thing when you're outside, is to stay warm, just to like continue being okay. Because if you get too cold, then you start getting sick and things like that. And they obviously can't go anywhere for help like that. If they go to like a doctor or something, they would find out that she's a homeless kid on the run and doesn't have any parents around. They would try to send her back home to her mother. And it's just like basic things. And like, yeah, the leather jacket and the plaid like thing that she has like tied to her, and like everything, like she looks exactly like the old drawing of her that had been passed around, like the official art back in the day. The only thing that is different is that she doesn't have short hair. But that's she even has like the same like necklace. She has like a nose piercing like the old drawing does. Like she looks almost exactly the same. She just has her natural like black hair, because she's black, but that's pretty much the only main difference. But I just thought it was interesting to see people talk about that. And I'm like, I feel like it's because they've forgotten that these kids are poor and they're essentially homeless when they're on quest. And she specifically is going to be homeless in all of the flashbacks. Her and Luke and Annabeth are all homeless during all of those flashback scenes.
Yeah,
and so,
I don't think they ever say how long specifically she was on the run.
For at least like a year or so. she's like on her own because she's already on her own when Luke and her like find each other.
Mhm.
In like when we read the Demigod Diaries, they talk about that. And so they're on their own like separately for some time before they even are on their own together. And then they're
Yeah.
also traveling around for a while before they go to camp. And so yeah, it's just she looks great for somebody who is homeless and doesn't have any money or anyone to help support her.
Mhm.
It's like the basic thing that we wanted to make the point of if you want her to look like you would imagine like a punk person to look like in like another movie or book or something, you literally have to imagine somebody else, because anyone in these books isn't like that,
Yeah.
because they're the people that they are in these books. They're kids that don't have any help or really much support, and so they wouldn't have those things. Even the kids like Annabeth and Luke that have well-off families don't talk to them because they suck. And
Mhm.
so they're not going to look like that. And like they could make them look like that, but that would be really stupid. Like one of the big things I make fun of from the horrendous Sea of Monsters movie is that Thalia comes out of the freaking tree wearing like a crisp looking leather jacket. And I'm just like, what?
Who are you?
Percy, everything's all right. It's okay.
I had the strangest dream.
Yeah?
Like I was dying.
What's your name?
And I just started like hysterically laughing and just shut the movie off because I just couldn't take it anymore. um, and so it's like, it's not like a situation like that.
Yeah.
That Thalia looks like all shiny and new. This Thalia looks like somebody who wants to have her own sense of style and own personhood, even if she is homeless, because homeless and poor people still have their own identities. And I just wanted almost hope that people remember that about her. Every kid should get help and feel like somebody understands them, including kids that are going through that. And Rick Riordan's books are ones that remembers that, because all of his characters are like that.